The story begins 65 years ago, when nuclear war nearly wiped out the world, destroying electricity and all communication systems in a single night and plunging humanity into its darkest age. During this collapse, a scientist discovered the Genesis tree deep in the Amazon rainforest. Its miraculous flower held enough energy to power the entire world, allowing humans to rebuild civilization. After this discovery, every Genesis tree was taken under government control. However, after the war, 90% of children were born with genetic defects. To solve this crisis, scientists injected the flower's essence into human DNA. As a result, every child was born with a special ability. Some gained extraordinary hearing, others incredibly sharp vision. These people were called genetics and began living like kings in the New World, but around 10% of people had weak immune systems that rejected the flower. They were labeled specials and were forced to do minor jobs like cleaning and maintenance. The story then moves to the Genesis Institute, where Chloe arrives as a student on a class trip, while her wheelchair-bound partner Leon enters disguised as a cleaner. When no one is watching, Leon breaks into a restricted area, distracts nearby guards with a toy mouse releasing sleep gas, and knocks out scientists through the ventilation system. When his access code fails, Chloe creates a fight in the lobby, steals a guard's notebook, sends Leon the correct code, and Leon finally enters the lab, finding strength in his mother's old watch that reads, "We are all one. We are all equal." He pulled a lever, the machine opened, and inside was the Genesis tree. Grabbing an old weapon, he began piercing the glass. But as soon as he tried to break the flower, the tree shot out numerous spikes, triggering the alarm. Still, Leon managed to pack the flower into a blue capsule. An announcement warned that the building was going into lockdown and everyone had to evacuate immediately. Chloe wanted to wait for Leon, but guards forced her out with the other students. By sheer luck, Leon escaped in time. Outside, he deliberately bumped into Chloe, causing her teddy bear to fall, and secretly hid the capsule inside it before returning the toy. When guards checked Leon's pockets, they found only a watch, mocking the message inscribed on it and calling him a freak. One man scanned all the students carefully but never imagined the flower could be hidden inside a study item. Later, Chloe and Leon watched the news on a giant screen. Senator Frank argued the flower could be used after birth, while famous singer Mira announced free tours in the powerless districts to unite people. Leon, disguised, warned Chloe that politicians and celebrities were all drama. They didn't care about people like them. Nearby, someone scrubbed graffiti from a window reading "Death to the Genetics," revealing public resentment. Despite warnings that the special district event was too risky and crowded, Mira refused to cancel it. As Chloe and Leon headed home, guards checked IDs at the district gate while Leon went shopping, and Chloe watched Frank's interview on TV. Frank was now claiming he had created a drug that could give the 10% of people who never developed powers a chance to feel them, promising they could be made like everyone else. Lo was thrilled by this, but Leon warned her it was all a lie. They returned home to their small workshop, where Lo grew plants and Leon built devices. Using the flowers, Leon extracted the parts that contained power and crafted special prosthetics for disabled people, allowing them to live normal lives. The client's payments kept them going. One day, after finishing work for a client, Leon received a call from someone in the genetic district requesting a repair. Chloe refused, saying they didn't go anywhere for work. It had to be done at the shop. But when Leon learned the man would pay triple, he insisted they go. Lo hesitated, knowing it was somewhat illegal, but Leon assured her he knew the paths, guards' positions, and could get inside undetected. They arrived at a luxurious restaurant. Suddenly, Leon's suit went out of control, lifting him up and throwing him onto the counter. Two gang members rushed after him, but Leon fought back using kitchen utensils and hot water. During the fight, the boss's face was revealed when part of him was injured. The gang pinned Leon to the counter, and Chloe jumped in to save him. Leon quickly threw flour over them and decided it was time to escape. Using the suit's strength, he broke the door and the two ran outside. But maneuvering the suit on the street proved difficult, so Chloe guided him down an alley. Police cars passed nearby but didn't spot them. Chloe realized the suit's leg was slightly broken, so she supported Leon all the way home. The next day, reporters showed the full case, and a security camera photo included Leon and Chloe. Media speculated they might be gang members. Special Forces Captain Hayes warned that the powerless district had become a crime hub and promised a raid on the special district, Leon. And Chloe panicked. They recognized the gang leader from the previous day. Chloe found a flyer for Mira's concert with a small map, realizing the gang planned to attack and blame innocent people like them. Leon wanted to flee, but Chloe insisted they had to save lives. Leon protested, saying, "What could a paralyzed man and a 12-year-old girl do?" Chloe, in tears, called him brave and ran, leaving Leon helpless. Flashback shows young Leon discovering at his father's office that he was a special, and his father capturing him. Remembering this in his mother's watch, Leon resolved he had to act. Hours later, Chloe returned to find him repairing the suit. Leon tested the suit with Chloe's help, moving his arms and legs cautiously. He declared he would catch Hayes and make him confess his crimes. Using scraps around him, Leon fashioned weapons and even bent iron, showing his strength. Chloe noticed special wires in the suit and quickly ran to make a chemical that would activate its hidden weapons. Meanwhile, Mira was performing a concert in the special district, and the crowd went wild, pushing against the fences while security struggled to control them. As Mira boarded her bus after the show, guards attacked and rebels arrived, spray painting messages on the walls. Hayes threatened Mira, demanding she come quietly, but Leon, wearing the suit and mask, leapt from a balcony and began his attack. Chloe's chemical caused plants to sprout from the suit, making the gang laugh, but Leon used those very plants as weapons. One thug collapsed from gas, another got tangled in vines. Chloe summoned Mira with a stolen car, while Leon fought Hayes and his men. Surrounded, Leon was knocked down, but Chloe rammed a gang member with the car. Leon jumped in and Chloe sped them away. Back home, they locked the doors as the gang searched outside. On TV, reporters claimed an unknown hero had saved Mira. She tended to Leon's wounds, revealing she once wanted to be a doctor. Chloe drew a flower hero picture of Leon, which she hated but Mira praised. Leon warned Mira about Hayes, and she revealed her next event with Frank at the family center, worried the anti-genetics gang would target him next. The gang opposed any enhancements after birth, believing people should remain as they were born. Mira wanted to alert the police, but Leon stopped her. After all, Hayes was a police commander too. Together, they planned their next move. The next day, Mira and Leon visited the family planning center, posing like a newlywed couple planning for children. Mira, famous and protective of her family, told the doctor she had no appointment and never shared details about her husband with anyone. Leon convinced the doctor to give them a private tour. During this, Leon cleverly stole a key and distracted the staff by announcing that Mira would perform for everyone, gathering all the people in one room. That's when the anti-genetics gang struck, and Leon fought them in the lobby. The gang overwhelmed him despite his initial success, and Hayes tore off his mask, repeatedly hitting him. Suddenly, Frank's security arrived, forcing the gang to flee. Mira admitted she had called Frank, realizing Leon alone couldn't handle them. Leon learned the guards hadn't followed the gang because he was more important. They revealed that Frank was actually his father. Chloe, shocked that Leon had lied about his father being dead, stormed off. Later, reporters arrived, and Frank went into politician mode, emphasizing the growing gap between genetics and specials and urging careful voting. A week later, Frank's project was approved. Buses relocated the poor to medical camps outside the city, and Special District was reopened so everyone could live together. Leon asked about Chloe, but Frank said they hadn't found her yet and quickly changed the topic, assuring Leon he only wanted to focus on his treatment. Leon reminded Frank that when he tried to treat his mother, she had died. Did he remember? Frank apologized, admitting his mistake, and revealed that Leon's mother had left a letter, but he had been too afraid to give it to him. Leon opened the letter, which explained that she had to leave them behind and wanted forgiveness. She wished for Leon to grow into a good man, but feared his anger would consume him, leaving bitterness in his heart. She urged him to learn to forgive, because no one stays forever. Reading this, Leon broke down, remembering his mother. Mira arrived and took him outside for fresh air, where Leon spotted Chloe and apologized. Chloe couldn't stay angry for long, and Leon shared his suspicions that Frank had orchestrated the attacks to ensure his project's approval. But they needed evidence first. Chloe got a clever idea. borrowing a camera from a patient with an eye prosthetic and sneaking into the vents to record Hayes and Frank. The recording revealed they had planned the crimes together, extracting special genes from patients to inject into the gifted, calling it humanity's next evolution, ignoring the specials. Chloe played the recording in the tent. Mira tearfully apologized to the specials, and Leon reminded everyone they are equal and human, inspiring them to fight. The next day, Frank and nurses entered Leon's room, unaware he was wearing his suit under the sheets. He immediately seized Frank and confiscated the injections, stopping him cold. Leon called Hayes a monster and trapped him in a room, then grabbed some explosives and ran toward the security room. He fought the guards there, knocking them down, but one pressed the alarm, alerting everyone. Meanwhile, Chloe connected the camera to a computer to send the recordings to the police as evidence. Before leaving, Mira kissed Leon and urged him to return. At the tent area, Hayes and his gang arrived, and Leon with the specials surrounded them, sparking a massive fight. The specials only had everyday items like pots and pipes, but their numbers kept the battle even. Leon's suit gave him the strength to fight multiple enemies, but Hayes called for armed backup, and many specials fell. Leon faced Hayes alone and was eventually knocked down while trying to escape. In the security room, a special saved Mira from a thug, and Chloe successfully uploaded the footage to the police. In the lab, Leon crawled to survive. Hayes struck him, and their fight shattered the glass around the Genesis tree machine. Leon grabbed a flower, triggering spikes that struck Hayes, knocking him down. Police arrived, arrested Frank's crew, and recovered evidence. Chloe and Mira ran to Leon, who kissed Mira this time. A week later, news channels exposed Frank's plan. Rumors claimed the masked hero was Frank's son, but the police denied it. Frank had escaped, and the government ended its segregation policy, giving everyone freedom. Mira's voice was damaged, but she was happy with Leon, while Frank watched his son from afar. If you enjoyed this thrilling story, hit subscribe and drop a comment sharing what you'd do if you were in Leon and Chloe's shoes.